Because we can win the Super Bowl. Like, why not? Why can't we win? Do you think it's unrealistic?
You think the roster is in place to do that?
I think it is in place to do that, yes, sir.
It's a new season, a new beginning. And at Oxnard, California, with the California sun rising behind the River Ridge Sports Complex, the Dallas Cowboys aren't just stretching their legs and running drills. They're preparing for war. Welcome back to Dallas Insider, where we don't just follow the Cowboys, we live and breathe this team every single day. And today's story isn't just about training camp, it's about belief, it's about mindset. And it starts with a powerful statement from one of the team's rising stars, offensive lineman Tyler Smith. As the Cowboys kicked off their 2025 training camp, all eyes turned to Smith, who stood in front of the media and delivered a message that hit differently. Realistically, we can win the Super Bowl. Like, why not? Why can't we win? Those words might seem simple to outsiders, but for Cowboys Nation, for the fans, the staff, and the players who've carried the weight of nearly 3 decades without a Lombardi trophy, those words feel like a rallying cry. Let's break this down. Let's talk about the new energy in the locker room, the high expectations in Oxnard, and why this may finally be the year the Cowboys break through the noise and silence the doubters, once and for all. The Tyler Smith statement, more than just talk. Tyler Smith isn't just another voice in the room. Since arriving in Dallas as a first-round pick in 2022, Smith has embodied everything you want in a future franchise cornerstone: physical dominance, relentless preparation, and mental toughness. But now, heading into his 3rd season, he's not just protecting Dak Prescott's blind side, he's speaking with conviction. He's taking ownership of the team's future. Smith's comment, "Why not us?" isn't delusional optimism. It's measured confidence. He's seen what this team has gone through. He was part of last year's disappointing 7-10 campaign, the missed playoffs, and the backlash. He's also seen the roster upgrades, the new leadership under head coach Brian Schottenheimer, and the hunger in his teammates' eyes. And when you combine that with elite talent on both sides of the ball, it's hard not to start believing. The Cowboys roster, ready to compete. So let's talk about the roster, because the Cowboys didn't sit still this offseason. They moved with purpose. First, there's the addition of George Pickens, who came over in a post-draft trade with Pittsburgh. The chemistry between Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is already electric. They're walking into camp together, running routes side by side, and even unveiling touchdown celebrations like they've been teammates for years. That's rare. That's chemistry you can't fake. Pair that with quarterback Dak Prescott, who, after rehabbing from a hamstring injury, looks sharp and locked in. Let's not forget, Prescott was in the MVP conversation 2 seasons ago. If the run game supports him and the offensive line holds up, Dak has all the tools to lead this team deep into January. On the defensive side, Micah Parsons remains the heart of the storm, even amid contract disputes and tense exchanges with Jerry Jones. Despite the off-field noise, Parsons is still in camp, still showing up for his teammates, and still proving why he's one of the most feared defensive weapons in the NFL. And don't sleep on that revamped offensive line. Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, and rookie Tyler Booker. Yes, we're calling them the Great Wall of Tyler, are anchoring a unit that looks poised to dominate in the trenches. When the Cowboys have a strong offensive line, history tells us they go far. The shift under Brian Schottenheimer. This season also marks the first full year under head coach and offensive play caller Brian Schottenheimer, and let me tell you, the change is already visible. The Cowboys are using pre-snap motions, new formations, even experimenting with wildcat and pistol sets. Schotty said it himself, "I don't play static." And that's exactly what fans have been begging to hear after years of predictable play calling under Mike McCarthy. During the first 2 days of training camp, the offense was moving with purpose. They broke the huddle quickly. They shifted pre-snap to confuse defenses. They were dynamic, a word that hasn't often been associated with Cowboys offensive football lately. If this keeps up, Dallas could have one of the most unpredictable and dangerous offenses in the league. Belief inside the locker room and the need for health. Veteran voices like Nate Newton and Barry Church have chimed in, agreeing with Tyler Smith's mindset, but also tempering expectations by emphasizing one key factor: health. The past few seasons have been riddled with injuries, from Dak's hamstring to critical blows on the O-line and secondary. If this team can stay healthy, they're not just a 10-win team, they're NFC East title contenders. And let's not forget about Matt Eberflus, the new defensive coordinator. If anyone's going to tighten up the unit and keep Parsons and company aggressive and in rhythm, it's Eberflus. Jerry Jones, the eternal wild card. No Cowboy story is complete without Jerry. And as expected, the owner is already making headlines, calling out players publicly, fueling media drama, and standing firm on contract negotiations. But as chaotic as it may seem from the outside, there's a method to the madness, because when the lights are brightest and the pressure mounts, Jerry usually gets his guy. Whether that's Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, or Dak Prescott, the contracts will come. The deals will get done. Until then, the locker room appears more united than it has in years. And yes, some of that might even be the unintended consequence of Jerry's public pressure, creating a them versus the world mentality that bonds players tighter together. Final thoughts. So we go back to the question, why not the Cowboys? Why not a team with Pro Bowl talent on both sides of the ball? Why not a locker room finally full of chemistry, belief, and healthy competition? Why not a coaching staff willing to modernize and evolve? Why not Dallas in a wide-open NFC with a quarterback entering his prime and a defense that can flip the field in one snap? It's been 29 years. The hunger is real, the foundation is set, and the attitude has shifted. Now it's up to the players, the coaches, and yes, even Jerry, to finish what they've started. So, Cowboys Nation, we want to hear from you. Do you believe this is the year? Is Tyler Smith right to say, why not us? Or do you need to see more before buying in? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Dallas Insider for the most in-depth coverage of America's team straight from the heart of Cowboys Nation. We'll be watching every snap, every play, and every press conference because this might just be the year we stop asking, why not us, and start saying, we did it. Until next time, this is Dallas Insider, where the star always shines brightest.